calories in equals to calories out will mean that there is no weight gain or weight loss, because basically what you're eating is what your body needs for the various metabolic reactions, for the various maintenance and upkeep. And as a result of that, what you're eating, if it's equal to what you need and the energy that your body needs, it just means that at the end of the day, there will be no differences in your body weight. But if your calories in are more than the calories out, so you're eating more than your body needs, what just happens is that your body goes to a state where it decides to store, and in particular, if that's like things like glucose, it just breaks that down into energy, and then it stores that as fat, and that can mean that at the end of the day, you end up gaining weight. Whereas they say that if the calories in are less than the calories out, so what you're eating is less than what you need, then it means at the end of the day, your body feels like it's going into deficit. It feels like it's starving. And at the end of the day, if it's starving, what happens is that it wants to kind of use any reserves that it's actually been storing. And at the end of the day, you end up losing weight. And so this morning, I'm sat here on my way to the gym. I'm thinking about calories because sometimes people ask, is it necessary or is it important for me to try and track my calories, for me to be able to understand if at all I need to walk through this whole journey of checking what is it that I'm eating, how much calories am I eating, and things like that. It really depends on what you really want to achieve. For example, if your goal is for you to be able to, let's say, lose weight, what I would usually recommend or advise is that try to track your calories for a given period of time and see how does that really translate into things like, are you able to lose weight? Are you able to see shifts? And normally just don't be concentrated much more on just the scales dropping, but also concentrated on things like, are you able to fit in your clothes a little bit better? Are you able to see maybe shifts around your waist circumferences and things like that? Do you have more energy than normally you would have energy? And so at the end of the day, if you're looking at other parameters and trying to understand other things that will be useful and helpful for you to be able to get to a point whereby you are able to get into a negative energy balance, and that means at the end of the day you are able to start to see those scales maybe shift, or you can start to see the weight dropping off. And so if you are really it depends on the journey that you are on. If your journey is being able to lose weight, what I usually recommend is try to track your calories. Try to think about, what am I eating? And then once you've really gotten to a point where you've tracked your calories for a little while, it gets to a point you will know if I'm eating maybe a banana, that's about 150 calories. If I'm eating, let's say, a cucumber, this will be this amount of calories. And with time, you don't even need to continue to track, because you already know the portions that you're eating and the sizes that you're eating and the calories that they contain, etc. And so if you're trying, for example, to there are some people that have talked about gaining weight, and if you're trying to gain weight, of course you really have to eat more. And it's not just a matter of eating more for the sake of eating more, but it's more a matter of, I want to eat more and eating more healthily, eating more dense calories, being able to understand which kind of calories are much more better for you, which kind of calories will be much more, for example, you can have some good healthy fats, and those good healthy fats can actually be able to help you be able to get to a point whereby you end up gaining weight, but still not being depositing wrong type of fats, if that makes any sense, right? So if you're, for example, working through weight gain, it might be necessary to try and increase the calories that you're eating, but it doesn't mean that you increase the calories through ways and means that will actually make you unhealthy, because it doesn't mean that you need to go and eat more fast food or processed food, because you need to still be able to limit the amount of processed food that you're eating, obviously, because processed food will have more salts in them, will have more fats in them. They're high in sugar, high in salt, high in fat, and those are things that could have as well negative impacts on your body. And so if you're trying to gain weight, you might want to think of like, what are the better way of being able to get those good calories, still being able to get an opportunity to balance it so that in the end or at the end of the day, you're able to get the right nutrients for your body. If you're trying to maintain weight, and I can see some of you online this morning, thank you very much for joining me. As I was saying, I'm going off to the gym and I thought to do just a quick recording, and today we'll be looking at calories. If you're trying to maintain weight, the easiest way to think about it is, again, just trying to think, as a woman, I'll need 2,000 calories in a day, or a man 2,500 calories, and trying to think about the foods that you can eat so that at the end of the day, you are able to maintain around, let's say, 2,000 calories if your weight is 68 kilos and you don't want to lose that. So trying to ensure that you're eating around that mark so that you're not over and you're not under in terms of the calories that you're eating. And so being able to understand at the end of the day which kind of nutrients and which kind of fuel are you giving to your body does really make a whole difference. It does really help you to be able to know, okay, I'm eating the right fuel, I'm fueling on the right fuel. And I usually say, if you've got this a diesel car and you give it petrol, well, you'll have an engine knock, right? And if you have a petrol car and you give it diesel, you'll have an engine knock as well. So trying to think of like your food as a fuel, the calories, once your food is broken down, the fuel that it gives you and the energy that it gives in your body, trying to think, how can I be able to get effective in terms of fueling my body? How can I be able to be effective in terms of when I'm eating food that will actually give me longevity. I'm eating food that will actually give me a longer life rather than eating food that will contribute towards all these diseases. We call them diseases of affluence, which nowadays I don't even think it makes sense anymore to call them diseases of affluence, because we've seen these diseases penetrating to places and spaces where we will not necessarily or normally say, oh well, they are eating the Western diet and things like that, because we are becoming much more oriented into trying to ensure that we still maintain what we want to eat. And I've been back home and I've seen sometimes my brothers and sisters saying like, oh, we're ordering pizza for dinner, or we're going out for KFC and things like that. So we used to, when I was growing up, we never even had things like KFC back home in Kenya. We never had things like lots of fast food. If you went out for fast food, it just meant you'll have, let's say, chips and chicken, and that was like what you used to call fast food those days. But nowadays you can have all these deliveries of foods being delivered to your doorsteps. It goes to a point where we have more convenience at the moment, and we're kind of getting to a point where we just sometimes eat without necessarily even thinking about it, and that can actually impact as well so many different things. And so today, as we're thinking about the calories, as we're thinking about what you're putting in, I usually say crap in equals to crap out. If you're kind of thinking about craps, food that are really processed, refined, they have these extra added sugars and things like that, that means at the end of the day you're fueling on the wrong thing, and you don't really expect to see much impact in the sense of having a good health, but the impact can actually result into ill health and things like that. And so it gets to a point where when you're thinking about choosing of your calories and you're thinking about how do I select which foods, fruits and vegetables that are good to go to. But again, when you're thinking about fruits and vegetables, there are some fruits that can really have high sugar level in them. So maybe thinking of like which type of fruits can I eat that have less sugar in them, going for the fiber that is in things like vegetables that will fill you for longer, going through like those stages and places and spaces where at the end of the day you're kind of encouraging yourself to eat more whole foods. If you're going to eat, let's say, pasta, going for the high for the the brown pasta or the whole pasta rather than going for the white pasta. So it's kind of, again, when it comes to the calories, being able to choose wisely, right? Being able to select things that will favor you and not things that will bring you diseases and things like that. So today I just thought to talk about calories. I need to head to the gym at the moment, and when next time I have some time, I will be able to break those calories and talk a little bit about, like, for example, myself, what do I eat for breakfast, what do I eat for lunch, what do I eat for dinner, and that might be just helpful to anyone that might be thinking about this. So as you're going through your day today, just to encourage you to think about the calories as the fuel that your body needs, and then choosing your fuel rightly, Don't give your body something that you don't need. If your car is not diesel, don't give it petrol. And if your car is petrol, don't give it diesel, right? So give yourself that energy that you need, but let your energy sources be things that will catapult you into good health, that will give you longevity, that will help you. And as they usually say, use your food as your medicine, things that will help you to kind of be more healthy. Things like, for example, turmeric, things like garlic, things like fruits and vegetables, because of those phytochemicals that are in there that will be less in calories, but also will have more antioxidants that will help your body be able to protect itself against things like cancers, oxidative stress, etc. So that's it for today. Off to the gym myself. Have a fantastic day until we meet again in another live stream. Thank you for all of you who've joined. Thank you for all of you who continue to support this work. Have a great day. God bless. Much love and appreciation for myself. Goodbye.